Hey Tubies, it's Psychic Bob. Well, I'm sitting here contemplating the afternoon sun. It's just coming through my window, bright and shining. It's just beautiful. Well, I tell you, I've had a busy day. Been doing psychic readings all morning. Thank you to all of you who are calling for readings. You know, if you want to get on my schedule, I'm taking openings for next week now. And give me a call at my office, 703-825-3929, or write me an email, PsychicBobHickman@gmail.com. Those links will all be below. Anyways, you know, I've been sitting here today and also I've been working on a cool book. I'm reading a book called Rune Magic by Donald Tyson. And they're talking about how that some of the ancients may have discovered the runes, you know, or learned to read them through studying branches of trees. And here's a guy, he's a rune magician with some branches, and he's looking at patterns. It's a form of divination. So I really like this. This is a fascinating book because it talks about all the various gods and the different symbols that evolved over time and the history of the Norse people. Look at that ring. You could still wear that ring today. And that says that ring is from the 9th century. So that ring is over 1,000 years old and it still looks good. See, that's that good Scandinavian style. Look, there's some rune carvings. Oh, this is such an amazing book. Look at this. Here's some of the old runic carvings, meanings of the runes. That breaks it down like Fehu is the wealth rune. And I just thought, here's one of my favorite runes, which is the, oops, I just lost it here. It was the Thurisaz, if I can find it. Here it is, Thorn, the Thorn rune. Now that's it says here devil. It doesn't actually mean devil. It can mean an adversary at times, but it also means the power of the god Thor. So that's a cool rune. Anyway, so we're going to get more into the runes when I get back home. I'm going to show you my rune stones. And we're going to talk more about that. But just for now, I'm working on that. Anyways, I thought it might be kind of fun today to go out into nature and see if we see runic symbols in the trees. Come on along. It's a little cool today, so I'm going to wrap up in my good, beautiful purple scarf from Darlene Weinbrenner and her daughter Jacqueline. I'm loving it. Oh, that afternoon sun is bright. There is our sun lord filtering through the trees. You can see he's already moving to the west. That way is westward and getting settled. I'm telling you, that's our sun lord. Isn't he just something? It is so good to be out here with you guys. Well, I've had such a good time just being down here with Mom. It's really been restorative to my soul. You know, it's Wiccan Wednesday, and one of the things that we want to think about on Wiccan Wednesday is where can we find magic? You know, magic is all around us if we'll just be open to it. For example, right now I'm looking here at my mother's scrying ball. Now, I gave this to her and my dad several years ago. Probably almost 20 years ago now. But it's done of glass. And, you know, this is a protection. I gave this to them and I blessed it to protect their yard against evil. And so it's a reflective ball. It's a witch ball or a scrying ball. But you can look and see the sun's glow in the background there. Isn't that interesting? Do you see that light? So you can see the moon rise and in the sunrise and sunset. It's really something. But yeah, this has been a long time treasure in this house. So I love it. See, that's magical. So you can set magic wherever you are. The sky today is beautiful. It's a deep, clear blue, a little bit of clouds. Our sun lord's back there behind that tree. We'll walk out here. Maybe we'll get a better glimpse of him. But you know, I've been reading this book on rune magic, and it's really inspiring me because, you know, if we think about the runes as being connected to trees, well, gee, we could do a reading by scrying the trees, you know? Here in the eastern coast of the United States, I live in Virginia, and it's fall going towards winter, and so a lot of the trees are bare. And this makes it much easier to see patterns in the tree branches. So as I'm looking over here, you see these trees with all these mangle of branches? We might see a rune symbol. And, you know, as I'm sitting here, I see the rune algaes appearing before me. So, for example, if you look here, well, this branch right here, there it is. I see it in a few places. Right here at the end of the branch, if you trace my finger, let's see if I can get this right. There's the vertical staff, and then each branch off that goes. It's hard to see at this camera angle, but that's the rune algaes, and that's the one I showed you that I wore on my pendant the other day, and that's the rune of protection. You know, as I'm looking up here, I also see the rune Fehu up there. Okay, so Fehu is the rune that represents wealth. So we've got protection rune here and wealth rune, you see? But you have to kind of just sit and study it. But isn't that an amazing way to study the runes? And I got that idea from the book. It said that the ancients, some of them believed that the runes were seen in tree branches. So I think if we study the runes and we study the branches, we can have a mystical experience. I really do. Pretty neat, huh? And there's our Sun Lord. Let's do a sun blessing invocation. Holy and mystical Lord of the sun, I call upon you now. Grant us all your power of blessing. Even in your weak and waning days, your power is mighty, greater than that of humanity. Give us your blessing. May all of my YouTubers receive your illumination. May you bring clarity to their minds and hearts and let them have peace. Help us to see the mysteries of magic and your power throughout our lives. So mote it be. So mote it be. So you see, part of the magical and spiritual life is to simply be aware. So many people walk around, they ignore the trees, they don't even know that seasons are changing. They've not noticed the changes in the Sun Lord. And they wonder why they're unhappy. See, humankind, I'm dating myself. Humankind is connected to the earth, always has been. But our modern society would take us away from the earth. Everybody, wants us to be in front of a screen all the time. We weren't made to interact with screens. We were made to interact with people. We were made to interact with the earth around us. Look at this beautiful little tiny evergreen here. The ancients saw, and here's another one back here. This would be a great Christmas tree. Look at that, or a Yule tree. The ancients saw in the evergreen the mystery of the green man, that life could survive even when all the other trees are dying, like that tree is dying. The evergreens remain forever green. This was a symbol of life and a symbol of the god. Sometimes when you're out walking, you'll see the face of the green man. Like if we look into the tree branches here, we might just see the green man. Sometimes we'll see runes, sometimes we'll see the green man. But know that the mysteries of the ancient ways of the earth, of the Lord and the Lady, are available for those who would seek them out. I recently had somebody call me up and they said, "PsychicBob, I don't like that you talk about this Wicca and witchcraft on your channel." They said they were, I won't say, a certain religion. They said, "I don't approve of that." And I just stopped and I said, "Oh, okay, that's all right. I don't feel the need to convert anybody to my faith." But I said to them, "What is it about what I teach that upsets you?" And they said, "Well, you don't believe in God." I said, "How do we define God?" And I said to them, "Well, let me ask you something." I said, "Do you believe that there is a power that created the universe?" They said, "Yes." I said, "Do you know that I believe there was a power that created the universe?" They said, "Oh, I thought Wiccans didn't worship God." I said, "We worship the Lord, who is God, and the Lady, who is the goddess." And then he says, "Oh, no, ain't no goddess." I said, "Why is there no goddess?" "Because it was revealed that there's one God." I said, "Well, I'm not sure the revelation was complete, or maybe it got censored. I said, don't you think truth sometimes gets censored? They said, well, what evidence do you have that there's a goddess? I said, well, if I look around the earth, plants have male and female characteristics. Every species that exists on the earth takes two forms, male and female. I said, doesn't it say in your scriptures that God made man in his own image? And he said, yes, that proves God's a male. And I said, well, what is man? The term man means mankind, which means humankind. I said, would you agree with that? And he said, yes. I said, if humankind is made in the image of God, I said, we have male and female on the earth in human form, and all the animals are male and female, all the insects are male and female. So therefore, God, by his own revelation, has declared we are made in that image. And that image is a dual image of male and female. Well, this person was shocked. They'd never thought of that. That kind of threw a monkey wrench into their plans. I said, well, there you go. I said, I'm not going to argue. I just want you to think about it. They're like, oh, I thought you'd be offended that I said this. I said, what's there to be offended about? We're both trying to learn. You see, that's what's important. We're both trying to learn. So you see, the lessons that we're trying to learn are the lessons of life, the lessons of earth, the lessons of spirit. And the thing is, it's all interconnected. When we walk here among the trees, we can learn of the ancient runes. And when we learn of the ancient runes, we learn of ancient cultures. And what do we discover is that since time immemorial, there has been the presence of deity and divinity in the beliefs of humankind and manifested in nature. The truths of eternal life and the truths of spirit are found even in the very trees. It's true. So don't get hung up about your religion versus my religion. We don't care about it. At least the Wicca don't. We know that it's all there, and we're still discovering it as well. And there's our Sun Lord. He's getting lower and lower in the sky. It's still relatively early, but up till Yule, we're going to see the Sun Lord getting weaker and weaker, not rising as high in the sky and setting much quicker. But you see, you're only going to know that if you're spiritually aware. As I said, most people walk around, they don't even notice it. But those of us who follow the ancient ways of the Wicca, we know the movements of the sun. It takes a spiritually aware person to realize that, an observant person. People walk around under these trees and don't even realize that the universe can speak to them in runic symbols. They don't realize that Mother Earth beneath our very feet gives us strength and nourishment. We draw power from the earth. So don't be like those people. Don't be ignorant. Don't be unobservant. Discover that life is beautiful and that being on the earth is a sacred experience. One of the things that that person that argued with me said to me was, well, you guys are godless because you don't have any churches. I said, oh, I have a church. He said, really? I said, yeah. In fact, I said, we Wiccans go to a cathedral. Well, you should have seen his eyes. Like, he said, cathedral? Oh, I want to see that. I said, yes. I said, well, this is our cathedral. I said, you want vaulted arches? The trees are vaulting as arches. Do you want grand aisles? The walkways of green grass go for miles. Do you need high walls? The trees shelter us. Canopies, cupolas. And our ceiling has a paint job that's out of this world. We have moons and stars painted on the ceiling of our cathedral. You see, and we have great lights in our cathedral that illuminate the sun and the moon. That kind of shocked that guy. He was like, wow. See, we of the Wicca, we gather in our cathedral, the cathedral of the earth. We affirm by our practices that the earth is sacred. That's why many witches, Wiccans hold their circles outside when they can. I think when the Christian church started building cathedrals of stone, they put themselves further back. And I'm not insulting, but I'm just saying factually, they removed themselves one more step from nature. And when you're taught that God is angry and punishing everybody and just waiting to throw you into hell, and then you're not connected to the earth, I think you're setting up a recipe for disaster. And if we look at the current climate issues on the earth, the pollution, I think we see where it's all led. So as I've said, let us be mindful, let us be spiritual, let us connect to our cathedral. Let us gather under our canopy of stars every night. And I tell you, if you start to reverence the earth as your cathedral for your spiritual practice, it will change you. And it'll change the way you relate to life, the way you relate to people, the way you relate to Mother Earth. Mother Earth, Father Sky, forever joined in love. This is why I love the Wiccan religion. It gives me a perspective that for me makes me whole. It makes me not afraid of life. It tells me that I'm part of the bigger cosmos. So if you're struggling today and you think, I'm lost, I'm confused, I'm depressed, get out and connect back to the earth. Find the sacred power, the sacred truths, and you'll be restored, I promise you. Read some books on Wicca. Learn about our teachings. Learn about our ways. You know, I have some books out. One of my books is called Psychic Bob's Book of Wiccan Wisdom. And it just shares my thoughts about my work and my experience as a Wiccan. You might want to get that for yourself. Maybe get a copy for a friend. Go to my website, PsychicBob.com. You can get it over there. But books aside, what's more important is to really try to connect. Find your truth in the world around you, and you'll be restored and renewed in your body, your mind, and your spirit. Well, guys, thank you for being here today. I've had such a good time with you. I'm down visiting Mom, so I'm going to go tend to her and help her with some stuff. But I wanted to spend a few minutes with you today and say thank you. Thank you for your support. Thanks for being here. I love all of you. Blessings to you. Listen, please, if you can, help me out. Like this video, favorite it, share it with your friends, give me thumbs up, and please subscribe to my channel. We'd love you to be here. You guys are the best. Well, listen, we'll see you back here tomorrow on Thursday for Vlog Thursday. So we'll have a little adventure. Just be back here. And until then, may all of you always blessed be. Ooh, this might be a fairy ring here. Look at this. You know, when you're out walking, watch for sudden changes in the grass color. It oftentimes indicates the presence of fairies. We all come from the goddess, and to her we shall return like a drop of rain, flowing to the ocean. We all come from the goddess.